Okay, so we've had quite the crazy week out here in Oklahoma City, just like everyone else, but things got really crazy for us because so the couple of Utah Jazz players came and ate at the restaurant that I work at in downtown Oklahoma City the night before the game, in which they ended up being tested positive and canceling the NBA at that point. So the night before, they came and ate. I didn't have a ton of contact with them, but I did have some. And after that, my manager contacted the CDC, and they said not to worry about it, that we had a very, very low chance of getting it. So just go about normal life, and if symptoms arise, then worry about it. But until then, don't really do anything. So after that, a few days went by. 5 days went by, to be exact, because that was March 10th. And then March 15th came around, Sunday, and on that day, I got hit really hard with some symptoms. And I was thinking, well, this could be that, because obviously it was getting really viral, and everybody was, that was what everybody was aware of. But I still didn't, think, like, the odds of it were just really low, or at least that's what we were told. And, not that many people have it in Oklahoma City overall. But eventually, so my symptoms included that night for me, it was, I had a fever and really sore throat, really bad headache. I ended up, shaking and having shortness of breath. I didn't really know what shortness of breath was until that night. I was just really just breathing in a weird way that I hadn't really experienced before. But I just took a bunch of medicine and went to sleep. And that was kind of the worst of it. And then the next day, it was still bad, but not nearly as bad as far as just how bad the symptoms were. But they were all there. Still had just a mild fever, but terrible headache and sore throat, and coughs started a lot. And then as the days have gone by, it's lessened until this morning. It was a bad headache and bad sore throat, but nothing terrible. And then so everybody kept urging me to go to the doctor and get tested. Because I did fit all of the criteria. And, something that I feel like needs to be said is we had all the symptoms, and we called a bunch of urgent cares and stuff, and nobody seemed to know what to do. Nobody seemed to offer up any answers at all. Everybody just said, oh, I don't know. We don't have tests. You should call somebody else. We don't know. Eventually, one person gave us this hotline. So we called that number, and those people were like, okay, yeah, you seem like you actually might have it. So they gave us a different hotline number to kind of filter us through. And that person was like, oh, okay, you've officially been screened. So call a bunch of urgent cares and see who will take you. So we were kind of at square one again after that. And so we called, I would say maybe 5 in total. And eventually one said, okay, yeah, we'll set you up an appointment. And they set us up one like an hour later. So we went today, and we talked to the people on the phone. They made us stay out in our car instead of going in. On the door, there was a bunch of signs, big bright pink signs that said stop all over it. And it said, if you have COVID-19 or anything like it, or you think you might have it, just stay in your car and we'll come out to you. So they came out to us, and they had, the goggles and mask and full stuff on, taking every precaution. And so we started talking over my symptoms and the story and all. I guess I didn't say, but about 14 days before getting the symptoms, I came back from Cincinnati from a wedding. So we had to fly, and so we were at the Dallas airport, Atlanta airport, and Cincinnati airport. And so So that was kind of another factor that played a role in it for sure, but primarily the jazz player. So they have all the gear on and everything, and they're taking all my information. And he said, well, we're not going to test for COVID-19 because we're not allowed. He said the state is only allowing, at least for Oklahoma, the state is only allowing to test for the elderly and people that have pre-existing conditions, for respiratory issues and things like that, which makes sense. I wasn't going to get tested at all because I'm a 23-year-old, and I thought, I'm going to be fine, even if I do have it. So he said, but what we will do is we'll test you for the flu. And because you have all the symptoms of the coronavirus, what we'll do is rule out the flu. And so if you test negative for the flu, then we can pretty much assume, to the best of our ability, there's a very, very, very high chance that you have COVID-19. And so he tested me, did the swab up the nose thing. It's very uncomfortable. And about 15 minutes later, he came back and said, okay, it's official. You do not have the flu. Which only meant the one thing, that I definitely have it. It's not, I didn't test for the coronavirus, so we aren't 100% sure. But I know that I was in contact with somebody that 100% has it. And I know that Savannah, my wife, also has all of the same symptoms, and they came on 5 days or 4 days after my symptoms came on. So kind of the same pace. Take about 4 to 5 days after somebody starts showing symptoms to get your own symptoms if you catch it from somebody. So that's kind of our thing. They gave me cough pills, and they said I was supposed to get this inhaler, but apparently it seems like no pharmacies in Oklahoma City have this inhaler. So I'm not getting that, I guess. I guess I could wait on it, but I was like, whatever, that's not that bad. For somebody that's 23 and healthy, you don't really need to worry that much. I've been a lot sicker in my life. But it's very prominent right now, so I thought I'd share the story. And I never post things, so I figured now was the time. Thank you all for watching, and don't worry too much. You're all going to be fine. Even if you don't have a job like me, you're going to be fine in the long run. Everybody will stick together. Bye-bye.